Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island Australia Series 4, episodes 25 through to 28. Now, Chris, seem to be accelerating to the end here. Not always our favourite bit, but where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, we'll start at the top of the week. So, in episode 25, we had the whole... Back end of last week, we had the old Austin and Claudia. Claudia went on a bit of a rampage. She started digging out the OG Phoebe, saying she was putting her nose in between their business and all this stuff. And she decided to pull her like a mother would pull a child and father to give her a bollocking, because Phoebe was laughing, saying, I felt like I was in trouble. It sat between them both. And to be fair to Phoebe, what I'd like, Dave, she just took the loss. She took the L. Yeah. She didn't argue. She went, I don't know why I've done it, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I'd love about that? When someone's ready to go with you to kick off. If you do that, and we've all done that in that situation, Claudia's got nowhere to go. Yeah. Claudia wanted a full-on barn fucking storming argument, and Phoebe went, yeah, I'm sorry, no problem, that's fine. And I was pissing myself going, oh, this is shit for the producers. I bet they're like, give her a bit more needle, we need some. Phoebe took it. I didn't really see what they were talking about, if I'm being honest, but I went with it.
You know what? That whole interaction pissed me off, Chris, and I am coming in hot because I'm fucking not letting up from the last episode, right? Claudia is a fucking bellend. She somehow expertly managed to twist that around. So the root cause of that whole conflict was Phoebe blabbing her mouth. That's how she spun it all. And Austin was ready to swallow that hook, line and sinker. That was not the root cause. The root cause was fucking Claudia shooting her mouth off, saying that, blaming Austin for taking things out of context, yet she will take a statement from Mitch completely out of context, not get Austin's side at all. But she's basically vilifying Austin for doing exactly what she is doing. And by the end of it, Austin is he just wants an easy life. He doesn't want to have the fight. He doesn't want to have the conflict. And he's getting a bit bored of it. But then she's beaten him into submission where he just thinks, oh, you know what? The best thing is for Phoebe just not to tell me this shit. No, that is not the fucking answer. Because the next thing, it'll be something else. That is how fucking she is going to ebb away. She's going to chip away at his sense of self. And so the next thing he'll give up on again, it's like, oh yeah, it's fine if you chat shit about me. It's fine if you, by default, don't trust me and you trust Mitch's word way more than mine. No, that's fine. I just want to be happy. You're not going to be fucking happy. She's got proper fucking issues that she needs to sort out. And I thought, fair play. Phoebe doesn't want the conflict either. So, like you say, she just takes the loss. But just pissed me off that no one really called her out that this is your fucking issue, not Phoebe's, not Austin's.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? It's interesting that because there's something Claudia said, and I completely agree, was she turned around and was like, when Austin was like, I've had enough of this shit, like you said last week, Roger Murtaugh off Lethal Weapon, I'm too old for this shit. And he did, and he's like, I've had enough. And what she tried to say was, I didn't have all the information, so it's not really fair for you to call me out for being a bitch, basically. I being horrible to everyone, and I'm overreacting, and I'm just being, really kind, it's not being kind-hearted, like nasty the way she approached things. And it was like, well, I didn't know that at the time. Well, why don't you take a step back, not make judgment, not dive in there, not kick off with everyone? Because she sort of made it like it was Austin's fault. And he's like, I had done it. He's like, I've not even done anything. So, yeah, I found that whole interaction stupid. And you're right, very master manipulator to get Phoebe to take the whole fall for that. But again, Austin's just, he sees it, he sort of stands up for himself. But when he gets a bit of pushback off Claudia, he just sort of bottles it, doesn't he, and backs down.
Yeah, and what was it? She said something like, well, how dare you get annoyed at me before I've had a chance to get annoyed at you? Fuck off. He can get annoyed at it if he fucking wants to. And he was annoyed at you because of the way you'd been before. But she was like, well, you have no right to get annoyed at me if I've not got annoyed at you first. All right, is it fucking ladies first, is it? So, no, she can fuck right off. Get in the fucking bin, Claudia. I fucking can't stand her. Just the way she manipulated that whole situation, I just fucking hate it. Gaslighting 101.
You know what, Dave? I've got to say, fantastic last week, the episode. I listened back to it. And I know I'm the human gobshite, and I talk and I go all in there sometimes and with me 2-footed. But listening back to you, you were just on fire. And the amount of times you said bellend in that episode has got to be the most times we've said bellend about people on these shows. It must be about 50 or 60 times.
They have those YouTube channels, don't they? My eldest watches them, like the kill count, and it's just got a little number in the bottom, and then someone gets killed and it's like ding, it'll go through a horror movie or whatever. Should have a bell end count.
Going off all the time, but we talked as well, Dave. So I was laughing my head off in this episode because Jordan had played this real bad game. I'd called him out continually that he was just playing this sort of fake nice guy. Phoebe H went back end of last week. We all questioned why. The girls questioned why. Phoebe questioned why. He was like, yeah, you did a great Aussie impression last week of Jordan. But
did I?
Yeah, you did. It was a good one. And you were like, yeah, well, I'm just on a boys' fucking holiday, But and even and what happens, Dave? The episode later, which might have been 24, 48 hours after Phoebe H, he gets voted off because we go to couples vote. Jordan's on his own, and it was left to Stella. I know she's with Hugh, and I'm thinking, don't you dare! But because Stella's had so many chances and got away with it, and people have kept her in and Friend Island, I thought, is she going to do it? But no, Jordan went, and I thought, Jordan, you absolute muppet. I lost all respect or anything I had for him. He should have walked out with a bit of pride, Phoebe H on his arm to start their new life. But we all know it's fake. And he even said, Dave, as he was going, I was like, you absolute fake fucker. Bros before hoes, he said. And I was like, right, you are out, you fucking cock. So he's going to be on every opening of a fucking postage stamp now in Australia, and he's going to milk the arse off that shit fucking mullet, Dave. So, yeah, I was very happy to see him go.
I still look at him, and I think, I don't know what you're doing there. It's like you've won a fucking raffle or something, and you've got to go on Love Island. It's like you've got all these fucking beautiful people, and then you've got this fucking Jordan. It seems odd to me, but definitely odd that he stuck around like a fucking fart in a spacesuit. I think I'm sure he said something about a week. So I'm not sure. He might have got to stick around for 5 days or something like that. It's hard to tell with the editing and stuff, isn't it? But, he just had a fucking lovely time. But that recoupling, it was a bit of a joke. Even Sophie Monk was taking the piss, wasn't she? She was like, oh, you're going to go for Jordan? I thought it was going to be Jordan this time. They have to go through the whole fucking ceremony. And I know it's the fucking show, but everyone knows who's coupled with everyone else. So why fucking stretch it out? Just boot him out. He shouldn't have been there from before. Don't know why he's there. Glad he didn't get too much more screen time. He just got to ask some questions for one of the challenges later on, didn't he?
Yeah.
But absolutely no point in being there.
No, completely. And like I say, just silly. I think what you said, though, Dave, was right last week, was the horse was bolted on a lot of this thing because it seemed to be something they were trying and it just didn't work. And some of these little angles they've done, I still stick to what I said last week. Whoever got voted out, that person's partner gets voted out, and that's it. So it was Phoebe H, I think it was Stella and someone else. And if whoever got voted out of them people, their partners then have to forfeit the island as well. That's the whole point of Love Island. And yeah, it's really baffling. But anyway, Dave, the next episode, we had I think a baby gate. The babies came in. I was like, yay. And it wasn't, to be fair, it wasn't as bad as it has been. However, it's pretty obvious that Mitch, we have to watch Mitch because he stole a baby, he threw one under the covers, he threw another one in the pool, I think it was.
Bit fucking sinister, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of it, the way it came across. It didn't come across playful to me at all.
No, it didn't. And Claudia just give her baby up. She's like, yeah, I'll feed you, babe, take it. And then I know it's the context of the show, but when it happened in the UK, there's people making complaints, weren't they, about it, like the way the babies were treated. And I'm like, it's a doll. It's supposed to mimic what would you do. It's a part of the show. Don't look too seriously into it. But yeah, there was some proper. Mitch was just like having the time of his life, just being a dick, basically.
Yeah. You know what I found weird, though? And I just think the producers of this season are just not really doing that great a job. They weren't proper, like, baby dolls, were they? Normally they're proper fucking baby dolls. And it's the fucking crying, the relentless crying that, you know, Chris, because you've had kids, it's fucking grating. It is horrible. It is horrendous. And you're trying all these different things and you don't know. I've changed you. You've had enough sleep. I've burped you. You know, all these things and you're still crying. Well, I don't know what to do. And seeing these absolute narcissists who only care about themselves, you know, get fucking worn down over basically a day. That's all it takes. But that's the thing that I enjoy about it. But they weren't proper baby dolls. And what the fuck, Chris, was it all about? Like Austin and Claudia's baby. You know, they did those digital images and stuff. Completely fucking whitewashed it.
Yeah.
It was fucking wrong. Apart from the fact that they all looked like they were off some fucking horror movie or something. I mean, these are all beautiful people. And the babies that they mashed together, these baby images, were fucking horrendous. But I just found it weird. I couldn't quite tell what the dolls were. They didn't even seem to be proper dolls or anything. And like I say, without the crying, it just seemed to take away that grinding down element to it. So I thought, honestly, Chris, this was the worst baby game I think I'd seen in all of the series that we've seen since.
See, I've checked out on the baby game. So for me, it was fine because it was just over very quickly. And I wasn't invested in it at all. I really wasn't invested in it. But I just sort of was like, oh, thank God it's over. I didn't get annoyed or as wound up as I do when I watch the UK one and stuff, because that really pisses me off. But I think you're right. There's a budget constraints there. I think they've read the feedback about the baby game because there's not many people like it. I know on our Facebook page there's a few people quite enjoy it, and fair play. But for me, it doesn't add anything to the show. I think they're all narcissistical fuckers anyway, so it's very difficult for any of them to engage in looking after children and stuff. I just don't understand what it brings. It's not like they win a prize for it.
But like I say, the thing that I think it does bring is you're taking these narcissists and you're putting them in that position where the only thing that they generally worry about is how they look themselves, and 100% of their attention is generally on themselves, and then it'll wobble a bit when they have to focus on someone else. But again, massively self-obsessed people. And then suddenly they have to be, in an environment where they're taking care of something else. I think there is virtue in that. And like I say, the relentless crying, really does get you down. But this, it's like they took all of that bit away, and so it made it completely fucking pointless. So if they're just going to do it like this, well, then there is no point to it.
Yeah. Good point, mate. What did you think, Dave, as well, about Tina and Mitch in the hideaway? I mean, we haven't seen that for a good 12 months. I was really happy.
Are you trying to wind me up here? What is the fucking point, Chris? I said last week, who fucking cares? Will they, won't they? They've been there, done that. Did they work on the outside? No. But what about this time? I don't fucking care. What a waste of a hideaway. Because they've been on the outside. They've been coupled up on the outside. What was the point in sending them two in there?
Yeah.
They were already fucking going at it on the daybeds.
I'm with you. I'm still getting my head around why are they even in there? Just nonsense, Dave. Just nonsense for me. It just made no sense whatsoever. We've been there, seen it, got the T-shirt. They're back in love. I don't trust Mitch as far as I could fucking throw him, and he's a big unit, so I probably can't throw him very far. And I don't really think he's genuine. I think we're going to get a press release saying that, the nostalgia of the relationship brought them back together in Love Island, and we're going to go our separate ways. I'm pretty certain that's what's going to happen.
I mean, it'll be something like that, and it might take a few months or whatever. But it's a fucking holiday romance, isn't it? And the whole point in the post-show thing is to see how quickly they all release the press statements, isn't it? But like I say, for these, it's utterly pointless. I said last week, Chris, I think this is Love Island, in Australia at least, jumping the fucking shark. I'd have to say, maybe because I'm on one, but this is the worst Love Island season I think I've seen.
It's interesting, Dave. I think one of the US ones has been pretty poor. But
true. We didn't even bother with those, did we?
The last one we didn't, but the first US one was a bit of a rush job, wasn't it?
It was, but then they didn't know what the format was, and you seem to have more genuine people in there, not just people who were like after the social media career. I think what it is here is just the dicking around with the format and just, like I say, they're not in the right way. It's like they're playing about with it for playing about with its sake, but not really getting it. And they're also, taking the stuff like Casa Amor out, it makes it worse. And I guess maybe I'm putting too much on the producers, but I just don't fucking care about any of the couples, Chris. That's the problem. I'm not invested. So if any of them split up, whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't care. None of them will last. None of them have got a fucking chance. None of them even look like they'll last. Even fucking Gemma and fish-face fucker Luke Bish, you could see, all right, well, they'll stay together for a few months at least. Not this lot. Can't see them staying together longer than it takes to get to the fucking airport.
Well, I think for me, looking at that, Tina and Mitch, I thought might have just stole it again, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I think it's set up for Mitch and Phoebe to win it because everyone else is it's just nothing to it. Claudia and Austin, I don't like Claudia. You've got Stella and Hugh. They'll be the ones. They'll be bottom of the rank, bottom of the list. Whoever, they'll be probably the next ones out the door. They've actually gone. Dave,
they've gone. Yeah.
Won't be at the first one. They're actually gone. So I was just to talk about that. So I think it's set up for them too more than anything because Phoebe was voted one of the most popular people. Which come to that because
she's the person to go to for all the gossip, isn't
she? Apparently so. Because they had the choice. It was Stella, not Stella. It was Al, Phoebe, and there was one other girl as well. And they picked Stella and Hugh, didn't they? So Stella and Hugh gone. Stella played a blinder. How she stayed in there till the end, I do not know, Dave. But she played a blinder to get this far. She finally got a connection. Don't believe that for the fucking paper it's written on, but we'll go with it for the show. But it was just too little too late. And Hugh didn't offer much anyway for me at all. He didn't really do anything. He had a good smile on him, but I just didn't think he brought any personality to the actual villa.
I mean, the most noticeable thing Hugh did was pick someone to date who looks exactly like his fucking sister.
Like a bit of incest, Dave, on a reality show.
Fucking, they could be sisters, Stella and Madeline. Honestly, fucking. I'm surprised old voiceover guy didn't call it out.
I bet you can't, though, Dave, but we can. Yeah. Now, Dave, I've got to say, there wasn't much going on this week. I know we've talked about a few things, but the highlight of my whole week was when we got the dates. And we get these little lovey-dovey dates, and Al and Jess go on a date, and by the end of it, they're in the pool fucking dry humping. Well, they're literally not supposed to call it wet humping, Dave, in the pool. Jess has just gone in there in a dress, and they were proper going at it, not bothered at the cameras. But before that, they got to draw a man naked, Dave. And what I loved is the guy who's obviously, about in his 50s, I did see the voiceover man say, "What's my dad doing here?"
Yeah.
He's got his fucking cock out, Dave. And then they start snogging in front of him. And I'm telling you, Dave, and I'll let you finish this, but what did you think of at that exact moment?
It was just weird because we haven't seen them kiss that passionately, even in the hideaway. And I'm like, are you trying to make him get a stalk on there? Because they seemed like they were properly going for it in an over-the-top way. And the guy's just stood there with his fucking junk... lying there with his junk out. I honestly felt, Chris, they were trying to make him get a stalk on.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And then they're eating, and he's still there, isn't he? And they were like putting like a fucking what's it called, like an aubergine fucking emoji of his fucking cock hanging out. It was just so random. I'm with you. I was thinking, oh, this guy's got some fucking willpower here, Dave. There's no blood rushing to where it should be. But yeah, very bizarre, because the way they were kissing in front of him was just like, this is weird. Like, this is really strange. And to be fair, Jess and Al's conversation, you probably find the same conversation in a fucking 5-year-old playground, the way they talk to each other. There's not exactly any depth to what they bring to the table.
No, again, they won't last at all, will they? And I just don't like Jess. The whole thing, I'm glad it came out with they didn't call it, wasn't the Twitter game, was it? It was a truth game or something like that, where they found out what everyone else was saying behind their backs. And that fucking statement, I'm a 10 out of 10 weapon. A fucking 10 out of 10 weapon? What the fuck? You're a 10 out of 10 fucking bellend. That's what you are. And, she's a 5 out of 10. I found that. Who the fuck says that, Chris? Who says that? Just what an absolute tool. And I know, we'd called her out on it last week, and I was glad that she got called out for it. And, Madeline was pretty upset by that. But, I just think so fucking arrogant. Yeah. But fair play to him for trying to get the life model to have a lob on.
It's times to get one, Dave, and that wasn't them times. So I'm with you.
Can you imagine? I mean, he's about 50, isn't he? So he's probably not as bad. Can you imagine, Chris, if it was like, I don't know, it's fucking you when you were 16 or something like that?
Fucking hell. Fucking brushing up against something and fucking give you a fucking stalk. I want it with that hormone.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't bear thinking about. There'd just be no way that you could avoid it, would there?
No, Dave, listen, as every man will attest, Dave, as long as you've got an elasticated waistband on your fucking pants, you can get away with it. Tuck it away. Nobody knows what you've been doing, Dave. Anyway, we're not getting into that because that sounds so wrong. But the last thing I think for this week, Dave, which was I agree with this couple going, was Tina and Mitch going, because I felt it was wrong to bring them back. We'd seen the story. Yeah, they get a bit of Mitch gets a bit of a redemption out, but ultimately every time he's in a VT thing, he's trying to not call out Tina, but he's sort of questioning things about race. It's like, you created that problem. You cheated on her.
Yeah.
It's your fault, mate. No one else's. Tina's emotionally broken because of you. We've seen that. I just don't care, Dave. I really don't care. I don't think he's going to... I think he'll probably do it again. I don't think they'll stay together, but I'm just glad that they didn't get the opportunity to take the money by the end of this week. Yeah,
I mean, I was glad they went as well. But you know what? Tina turned around pretty quick, didn't she? And that was not an attempt at a Tina Turner joke, by the way. It was just weird. If she was that fucking hurt by what he did, she seemed to forgive him pretty quickly. And I don't know, it's just this nagging doubt that I'm being played. You know what I mean?
Could be. Let's play the game. We saw Ekinsu had supposed to have done that, hadn't she?
Yeah, she was supposed to have someone coming in, and then they bottled it or something, so she had to go with Davide. But yeah, there's just something not right. I would expect her to hold on to that. And he'd said, I'm not in for anything serious or anything to her, like on the outside. But inside, he's like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. She's like, okay. It's like, so all just happened rather conveniently quick. So yeah, I was a bit concerned that they might end up winning it again, and that would just send me nuclear, Chris. But fortunately, they have gone, and I do think Mitch was a bit put out. I don't think he expected to go.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either, Dave. And I think you just quickly, by the way, Ekinsu Davide's reality show is fucking horseshit. Do not watch it. Oh my God, is that...
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was just pondering, should I watch this or not? No. Fortunately, I was erring on the side of, I am never going to watch that in my fucking life.
It's terrible. you know, I love reality TV, but fuck a doodle do is it bad, Dave? It is so terrible. It's really bad. Like, we watched it, me and Sam, and I'm like, I'm not watching this. They go to Italy, and it's like, you can clearly see where they've given them the scripts, what we're going to do today. Oh, my God, Dave. It's awful. So,
it's broken even you. I've noticed on the Facebook group, actually, there seems to be loads of new suggestions. I haven't really had time to look at the trailers or whatever, but there seems to be no shortage of, these reality TV shows which are more in our wheelhouse.
Oh, I mean, that one I think someone suggested yesterday, something MILF thing or something, was like,
what
the hell is this all about? And it's not my
Where have you been all my life?
So we will take a look at some of them, and the people trying to coax you, Dave, into watching some of these shows, because they know I'm going to be all in on this fucking nonsense.
See, you say that. But yeah, no, we'll have to watch some of them, definitely. Even if it's just a trailer, I'm intrigued definitely by the MILF one. Can't think why.
Now, David, let's not go down that route. But anything else, Dave? Because I'm pretty all talked out. I think I don't think I've got much more to say about this. I thought it was just pretty crappy week, really.
I think it's just fizzling out. The whole series. I'll be a little bit surprised if this gets picked up for another season, Chris.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've tried it on this streaming platform and it's not hit. And also, I tell you what, one thing I will say to you, Dave, this is breaking news. When I was watching Love Island the other day, a cracking trailer came on for this show. And I'm like, what the hell's this? And it's like couples there getting married. There's all these love songs. It goes on for about 2 minutes. I was like, oh, what is this? Yeah, it's fucking maths, Dave. Yeah. Maths Australia. And then at the end, they show a bit of carnage, and I'm like, oh, you better be on early part of next year. I can't wait for that to happen. It was a great trailer, by the way. If anyone's seen it, I thought it was a really well put together trailer.
It had a Bachelor feel, though, didn't it? Did you not think? I thought, oh, fucking hell, they're bringing the Australian Bachelor back or something. But then it was obviously different people. And so it didn't, I don't know, it didn't really sell me on, if I didn't know what Maths was, it wouldn't have brought me in. So it seemed to play up the wedding pieces. But as we know, that's the first week or two. So, quite excited for that one.
Cannot wait, mate. Cannot wait. So thank you, mate, for another week of Love Island. We do go into next week. We've got 2 episodes to go. It finishes on the 20th officially. So we'll wrap it up at some point next week, won't we, Dave? Just in time for us to have a break for Christmas. So don't keep hitting the Chris Phelps voodoo doll for making us do something, Dave, because it was my suggestion. So I do apologise. But thank you to everyone as always. Get over to Facebook, guys. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We really appreciate everyone who's on there, everyone who's joining as well. It's been really humbling as well. So thank you, guys. And thanks for a great year of reality TV from both of us. It's been great fun. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. So get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast if you want to support us a little bit more. And a massive thanks to everyone who's been a Patreon over this last year. We really, really appreciate all your support, guys. It's so nice. So today's roll call of honour, and the second to last one of the year, is Mr. Kent Gustafson, Lucky Louie Green, Lauren Hennessy, Susan, Priscilla, Dee Dee, Katie, Libby, Joanna, Jacqueline, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Michelle, Gillian, Zoe, Kristen, Maggie, Annabeth, Kate, Megan, and Cassie. So thank you so much for your support, guys, and have a great weekend.
Awesome, mate. And we haven't decided really, have we? Did you watch the Maths reunion, the UK one?
Oh, God, you know what? I've not watched all of it. I've missed the last 15 minutes, but I found it. They seem to get together all the ones you think could kick it off, and it didn't really deliver for me. And I only watched an hour of it, but it didn't really deliver.
Yeah, I thought it was, they brought that Nikita back, and she did what, we expect her to do, which is be an absolute bellend. But then, I don't know, there was no real massive revelations or anything. I just found it a bit of a snooze fest, to be honest. So I know there was someone tweeted us saying, are we going to cover it? But I don't know if there was enough to cover. Yeah,
I'm with you. I didn't come away from it because I thought I'll make some notes. Look, it was that fucking snooze fest. I fell asleep.
Yeah, literally.
That's why I didn't see the last 20 minutes. And then Sam was like, I don't think you need to watch it. I will watch it, and I'll message you. But I'm the same from what I'd seen. We'd be literally scratching around, to put something together.
Yeah, it certainly didn't have that fire, that the main series had, or some of the aftermath certainly. But I mean, I'm assuming because we know some of the fallout after, with Thomas and the rest of the cast. So this must have been filmed, I don't know, September or something like that. So I know it was a Christmas special and everything. So yeah, probably won't cover that. But thank you very much, sir. Like I say, getting ready for Christmas and everything. Thanks to everyone out there who's been listening, supporting us all year. It's been fantastic. We love the feedback and everything. Hopefully you've got all your shopping and everything sorted, all your wrapping done. And we'll speak to you next week.
Bye.